They suck. Relocation mission's gonna happen. Good morning. All right, so we are going to process calves today. We need to run them through the chute for their dewormer and implant, all of that jazz, get weaning weights official, even though we're a week, 10 days past weaning, but it'll work. We are finishing up soybean harvest. There's one field left. Dad just went to go get a part. His thermostat, I think, in the truck is causing issues, so it's running hot. He's gonna get a new one. Hopefully it won't run so warm. Same thing that we did have to fix a coolant line on, because it was leaking coolant last week as well. But I'm feeding. That was really cute. I hope you guys could hear that heifer just toot one out. I'm feeding this morning, so come along for all the fun. And then we'll see what the day brings. Come on, Ness, going to office. Come on, Pumpkin. Good girl. Load number 1. Gotta go get syrup. And then unload. Load number 2, getting syrup. I can't show you what I'm doing very well because I'm using my phone to feed with performance feed, so yeah. Feeding is done. I gotta take the scale head off because this is the same scale head we use when we use the scale on the chute. So I just have to change out this bottom piece. So I'm gonna unhook this baby and then we'll have a party. One. Like, I understand why they have to have these metal twist-on locks, but they suck. My arms are getting tired. Lord. Ta-da! Got her. Set up. So this will read their electronic ID tag, that white tag that they have in their ear. That one is not because she lost hers. But that white one is electronic ID tag from Performance Beef. They're high, ultra high frequency. This will read that. It'll automatically talk to the scale, which will also be Bluetooth to the iPad, to get their weight. And then I also have it all selected of what they're getting today. Cost wise, they're not getting their vaccinations today, but I have them in there to like record that cost because we didn't use the processing app last time. But it'll add that in. It'll add the cost of the implant, the cost of the pour-on. If we do a genetic testing, I can select that on it. Super easy peasy. We're just also have to go. I had to make sure I could get the scale calibrated. We gotta change modes and all that stuff, but. Babies. One at a time. All good. I need to count how many there was. Just under 140, so. This is our help. Madison's in the video. Everyone's gonna be like, who's the random stranger? Had a good time, got her done. Nobody died. So the calves today did not get any actual vaccination since we did pre-work them prior to weaning. We did give a intranasal one for just like all the respiratory things to some of those smaller calves that have been struggling or were younger, just to hit them with another option, and they're in a separate pen. Otherwise it was just an implant. So they got a short, like 90-day implant. They'll get one more and that'll finish them out. This just helps with kind of helping them grow a little bit more, getting that increased rate of gain, in turn becoming more efficient type of deal. It's just a little couple pellets that go right under the skin of their ear. They slowly dissolve over that period of time. We'll talk about that again in January-ish when we give them their next one, but they'll be good to go for now. And then they also got dewormer down their back. That way kind of get the parasites out, just because, you know, they haven't been dewormed in their life yet. So that'll help performance, get rid of all the bugs and such in there. And then I took a weaning weight with a scale, so I will, when I get home here after we're finishing that, we'll talk about what our average weaning weight was for the barn calves. And I will do a comparison, because I've been asked if we're gonna do a comparison of weaning weights with our calves on grass as well. So there was 5 calves that came off of grass, but they didn't have crate feed either, so that's not really an apples to apples comparison, because they've had crate feed here. Those ones did not until they came home and then got weaned. But I mean, they were right up there matching as well for the most part. So we'll see, but we're gonna go pick some pumpkins with the neighbors quick like, and then we'll see what else the rest of, where'd my drink go? I'm lost. I always end up with just dirt everywhere, but we'll see what the rest of the day brings here, folks. I guess like one con, also a pro of the barn, is that our calves are really, really, really tame. So it's nice because they're not spooky, like they're not jumping into gates, they're not, you know, like doing all that crazy stuff. And I think even when they do get out, when they crawl through the bunk, like generally nobody runs around like a complete idiot that's scared for their life. Usually they're pretty chill and they're like, oh, okay, I'll come back. Like, I want to go back to my mom. So they're really tame, but it also makes them a little more slow and obnoxious to get into the chute at times, and makes them a little obnoxious in the feedlot too. So pro or con, like these guys get out, they likely won't run 7 miles down the road. However, they're really hard to get out of the way when you like scrape yards or bed, because they're not scared of you. So kind of a catch-22, both sides of the spectrum. In the end, I'd rather have calmer cattle that are pretty used to humans than psychos, to be honest. Gotta put the scale head back on so I can feed tomorrow. I just recalibrated it and changed the mode to basic scale mode instead of it being on performance beef mode. I do need to. I'm missing a bolt. I'm gonna have to go find a bolt. Worked its way loose and fell off because I didn't have it when I took it off into the office. This heifer lost her calf, so we have one less first calf ever for next year, because she's been in heat now. So she'll get moved over into the feedlot, so that also kind of sucks. But and one of my cows that I like the most from the purchase group is in heat today, meaning she's not pregnant. So lovely. We'll preg check here in the next 2 weeks probably, I would say. Get cows kicked out, but then we'll know for sure. I need a small enough bolt. This is going to be too wide. Correct. Well, you should work. Correct. Now I just have to have a correct size nut for it. Got it, folks. Just all right. Ta-da! Now there's one in each corner. This one's a little bit long, but it's not going to hook on anything, so it'll be alright. Semi's just parked in here because, yeah, need that part. They did not have it this morning, so grab it tomorrow, I guess. Drive to Sioux Falls again. but at least they have 2 semis and we're still on beans, so we can keep up with just the one just fine. Lost field over west is what we call it. Should be the best beans, so hopefully they do well. The beans across from my house did really well. Don't know official, but Dad said 50 plus, so we'll see. We'll have to math. This one sucks. I got the scale, switched modes here. I got it calibrated because first I stood on it and said I weighed 34 pounds and I do not weigh 34 pounds. So that was fun. But should be good to go. If not, if it's dumb in the morning and the scale's being funky, I am likely feeding because Dad will probably be combining / he can just have a mental break. What are you doing? So I do know our biggest calf was 175 pounds. 175. Wow, that's sad. It was 175. Woo! 750 pounds is our biggest one, and he's definitely a little bit of an outlier in the barn. So outside of that, I would say we're probably in that like 550 to 600 range for a good chunk of them. And then obviously we have our bottle calves and our younger ones. They're going to skew things a little bit, but I will, like I said, I'll do the adjusted weaning weights and kind of see how everyone actually compares. And then the cool part with using the performance beef system is that now they're all in the system essentially with their EID tags, and if they didn't have one, I can manually enter in like a tag, but it'll pull up when we work these calves again in January before we start calving, before we kick them out of the barn. It'll actually pull up like what their average daily gain was, all of that stuff right on the screen. But anyways, it'd be fun to see how everyone's kind of weights look. I definitely thought 30's calf would be the biggest, but it was 29, so we'll see. But they're still 40 some, close to 50, probably out on pasture yet, so we'll have to wean them and process them as well. Their timing will be off a little bit, a couple weeks, but that's done. So I'm gonna head home here, but we'll look at the data. I think I'm gonna go for a run or ride horse or something first. Happy kiddos. Did you see that there's a naughty tomcat that Nessa absolutely hates, and he is right there and she saw him. Who is that? Who is that? Yeah. We don't like that guy, do we? She likes other cats, not this one. He's so mean. Poor girl. Harvest, sunsets, going for a run this time of night makes my heart happy. I think I just saw the semi come home as well, so maybe they're done over west. Maybe with soybeans, I don't know. I'll update you on that later because I don't know for sure, but at least I think it was ours. It looked like it and it went down that road, but the neighbor's truck kind of looks similar, so. Woo, 2.5 miles. I haven't ran since September 7th, the day of my 5K, so it actually didn't feel too terrible. I gotta go check the one trap over here and see if there's a raccoon or a cat or anything in it. Homies are coming with. There's nothing in the other two. The one is set off and there's nothing in it. And that's a very small one that only a baby coon's gonna fit in. So they think they want something. Someone is very needy since I got a new horse. They haven't been put together yet either. But, ooh, it's set off. Is there anything in it? Don't touch it. Stop. I got a young one. Relocation mission's gonna happen. Sorry to the people, but buddy, leave it alone. So this is what it looks like when you log into Performance Beef on a computer after you're done processing. It actually was 140 head, so I missed 5 at some point. Whether I didn't realize I didn't have their tag or just like misrecording them happens on my end if I don't remember to manually enter a tag if they're missing that EID tag. Fixed this already in the back end, but this is what shows how long it took when we started, all of that jazz. There are a couple weights I need to adjust. There's like 2 or 3 calves that I caught in the ribs, so their front feet were on the ground, so I actually had to like back them back up after the weight had locked. So I need to go in. I think they're in one of these two. I just gotta find that tag, and then I can edit that, and then that'll adjust. So our average weight's gonna be right under 500 pounds. Knowing the skew of, yeah, we have 202 as our smallest calf, which is a really young bottle calf, all the way to 760, which is an outlier, as you can see. And then really, I mean, like everyone kind of sits in this like little over 600 to 400 range. So really kind of in that average of five, little over. And I will get an adjusted weaning weight as well, so everyone is apples to apples comparison, not comparing a 8-month-old calf to a 3-month-old calf type of situation. Had a lot of bottle calves, also skews things because they just don't grow as well when they're not on mom, and when you have 10 sets of twins, it's kind of something you're gonna have. And just some of those calves that were forced to be bottle calves as well, if their moms were just not, nothing going on in the head. We had a couple of those this year if you watched my videos. And then this is all of the cost of processing that is automatically recorded and added to the reports over here. So then when you get your break evens, all of this is already in there recorded. And then, like I said, this will eventually populate showing average daily gain. And I'll show you, let me pull up the old one from last year to kind of show you what that looks like quick. Here is what it actually looked like last spring when we processed a group of cattle. And this is showing their, average daily gain within the one group that we have here. There's only not that many head. It was only 90 head. So it's showing you what they got going on and kind of showing where your average daily gain is. So right under 3 pounds is where we were sitting. You can see their weights. Then you click on that, like you can see every individual animal. Their EID tags are in there. And I can click and see like who's really crushing it, like who was this, find her in the system, and then who kind of sucked. Heifer 1.68 type of deal. So that's what it'll look like next spring again, and then I weighed more processing costs. But just wanted to show you what that looks like on the computer back end a little bit. Just out here, driving down the road. You can't go all the way in road gear when you got a load on, but when you're empty, it's kind of fussy. So it gets a little bouncy, but cornstalk bales everywhere. Fed the cows at the Nelson pasture. Been feeding them every 3 days. I'm not really sure how I keep forgetting to close out videos, but it's just the season we're in. Till next time, we'll see you then.